Hey Facebook, happy Friday TGIF. It's Shasta Broadus. Get covered with Shasta. I'm here with JV Black.
Yeah. Well, they know me as BK.
BK, and also Aaliyah here.
Hi everyone.
They are actually some local film and music providers that are going to be hosting a series of different events, and they actually have some things coming up that I felt that we needed to know about so we can bring the community together, participate in what they have going on, and also obviously support what they have going on. So if you guys can tell us, I know you guys both said you have some things coming up here. Do you want to share first? Or?
Jay.
Okay, Jay's the one.
Okay.
So Jay got some stuff coming up.
First That Bad, representing from Brooklyn. I'm here, been here for 11 years. And I figured, since I've been here to contribute to the community, so I hooked up with my girl Leah, and we're doing
Hooking it up.
We're doing this thing called Soul West Film Fest.
My name is Jerry Horton, and I'm a co-producer of the Soul West Film Festival.
My name is Aaliyah Najib. I'm the executive producer of Soul West Film Fest.
I moved originally out here from New York City. I've lived there for 30 years, and I'm involved in the film industry off and on. When I first came out here, I was actually initiated into the whole film scene when I met a young lady named, her name is Iris Huey. And she was coming out with a film, I think her third or second film called Second Chance, which I helped her out with the marketing. And from that time on, she took her film to a film festival out here called the Arizona Film Showcase. This was the first time that I've heard about it, and I was floored by all the folks who were involved in the whole film industry out here. We had Lee Daniels and a couple other folks. Names escape me now, but these folks were definitely in the film scene and as far as in Hollywood, and they came out here in Arizona to do their film festival. It was very successful, and then following years, it disappeared.
Montclair, New Jersey. I love Jersey. Represent Jersey, Jersey girl. And my profession has been, I've really been a Renaissance woman. I've done practically everything. You know, I've had a bunch of artists that I've managed throughout the years, worked with too many entertainers to name, like Whitney Houston and Pink, and we worked with Jay-Z's team, worked with Lauryn Hill of the Fugees, and just a bunch of different people from New Jersey and just in the New York tri-state area. Teaching was hard. Teaching was very difficult in Newark, New Jersey at a time. There were a lot of killings going on. It was just really rampant, and it didn't seem like education was valued within our community. And it really took a toll on me emotionally. I taught English and math in the high school level for many years, and just I was seeing that these kids were so bright and creative, but they weren't applying themselves. I transitioned from teaching into law, and I did want to make sure that my people, and specifically the passionate things that I have been involved in, were represented well.
I was doing some web Facebook groups that I set it up just to sort of get a feel of the whole scene out here in Arizona. I noticed there's a lot of film groups out, but as far there weren't really any black film kind of filmmaking type of communities. So I started a group called Filmmakers of Color in the Valley, and we reached out to some folks. Folks was like, hey, wow, this is like, I like this. So we decided to just connect and did like a couple of meetings with a couple of folks. And I got a message on Facebook from a lady named Aaliyah, and she was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a festival. You wanna be down with it? And I was like, yeah.
I attended the Arizona Jazz Festival, in 2014, and they brought out Jill Scott, and Will Downing, and they had the Isley Brothers. They had the Isley Brothers come to Litchfield Park, and then it set the tone for my stay here in Phoenix. I was like, this is so dope. It's so sexy, and all the black people look great. and just like the vibe was just like, yo, I like this, you know, and I was like, I want to be a part of it, and I want to create something similar to it. I was putting together a festival. Like, ultimately, Soul West Fest is a festival for music and film, but I was putting together, you know, a music festival to present, like, you know, my wish list, D'Angelo. So initially, I started working with some other promoters within the Valley, and it just didn't work out. And then I had booked this venue, and I was like, yo, you know, the venue was dope, but it started being very costly to like build out a concert event at this venue. But they had a really dope screening room right at that time, because I had to reschedule the event. They gave us December 8th. They were like, okay, originally our event was September 22nd, and then we needed December 8th.
December 8th, and I'm thinking, all right, this is going into October to November, and it's like, we don't got much time to do this thing. I mean, enough time is usually for a film festival is like 6 months to a year, and but we had this deadline here. Initially, it was like within 6 to 8 weeks to fulfill. So I was like, oh man. So we just basically did the best we could. Just went from there.
You know, working with people in general, when you have an idea, you have tunnel vision with your idea, you know, and so coming together with somebody to present an idea and then have them present your ideas, you're like, okay, this is a compromise. It's like, all right, we have to figure out how to work together.
We had a couple of meetings, and I figured, well, we need to have stuff written out. So I was initiated to say, hey, let's have like some type of agreement between us. It's not a joint partnership. It's more like we're two separate entities, but we're working together to create an event. And from there, we just read out what we thought was fair as far as the aspects of details.
So the festival was like, we got to get it done. We had a month to do it, like 6 weeks, and to put into the production, the promotion, getting the people involved, getting, you know, just getting it involved. It was like, yo, we got to do this. And in doing it, you're gonna have like stone face a lot.
I was contacting people. I met Kevin Parkinson, who was a wonderful filmmaker doing a project called Valley of the Queens, and like he helped out, like, hey, we need a space to meet, and I was like, okay, man, this is, you know. And then we had other folks who, Charles, who actually met at the Hip Hop Day Festival, and he was like, hey, you know, whatever you need, I'll put the word out in the community. I met a couple other brothers I met at Poetic Soul and some events throughout the Valley, and everybody's sort of like, hey, I'll do what I can. And big ups to my homegirl Mega Mills, because she definitely got some people to come down there. She put the word out, and everybody she spoke to pretty much showed up.
It was challenging. You know, the money was micro compared to any of these other film festivals. The American Black Film Festival they host in Miami is going on like its 20th year or something like that. So we weren't nearly as close to anything like that, but we were, you know, kind of emulating some of their strengths, and it worked out pretty good. I mean, again, our budget, you know, we were, real talk, if, you know, just putting it out there, we were looking at like maybe a $5,000 or $6,000 budget, you know, and it wasn't a lot of people, and it wasn't a lot of money, and it mainly went to marketing and promotion.
Friday, Thursday, I had was my Friday at my job, my 9 to 5, and then Friday it was just literally things was happening left and right. I was like, my ride broke down, so we were able to get to the location on time and did some other things. I had a hard drive, and I was trying to get some video clips into that drive so I could be able to, you know, show it at the venue. I had my laptop, everything set up, and all the stuff I set up wasn't there. I mean, I don't know, you know, back up, because you never know. And so I rush into the time. It's getting like around 6 o'clock. We're like trying to get away to get a ride out there, so we get a Lyft or Uber, and then we go down. There's like, we're looking at the clock, and then we get phone calls from the film commissioner in Arizona. He's like, hey, he's trying to get directions, and we're like, and they're literally in the cab, you know, or the Lyft or Uber ride, and we're like, you know, trying to give directions. We're not even there yet. It was like, we're looking at the clock. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm worried, like, when I get there, like, what I don't even know what to expect when I get there.
Okay, so the day of the event was, it was chaotic. It was like exciting, but it was stressful. It was stressful as hell, y'all. Like, it was like, I have a little Civic at the time, and I had to put like a 10-foot step and repeat banner in it. I had alcohol in the back. I had food. Had to get with the caterer. Just a whole bunch of stress of the day of, right? But it was a good stress. It's like, okay, it came together. Like, oh snap, like we did something, and let's see how it comes out, you know? We did a lot of marketing promotion on social media, which sometimes it's a hit or miss. You know, hand-to-hand, I'm a proponent of hand-to-hand, just in terms of learning it, you know, in my college background, and just knowing word of mouth is a great thing, and just hand-to-hand marketing. But we did a lot of marketing on Facebook, and so the day of the event, it was like, okay, we're hoping that these people, they say they're going on your event status, but you don't know if they don't show up. So that was something that I was thinking about, like, damn, you know, we got this venue, these people better show up, you know, whatever. And then getting just the vendors, we had a few vendors there who, you know, wanted to present their stuff very well. So again, it was very stressful, but it was an exciting stress. And yeah, and I think, you know, of course there are things that you would do differently, but overall I think we did the best with what we had at that time.
My man Kevin Parkinson, he was on the side, like, he just came by like, what's up? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to be rude, but it's like, and then he's looking at it, you need help? He's like, yeah. And he came through, and he just, day one, you know, came through and helped out in a pinch. And like, I mean, we came up with a solution. It wasn't perfect, you know, for a film festival, but it helped at that moment to get things rolling. So we were able to get the films rolling and do a screen.
So the post on this, like, so the feedback was really, really awesome, and just people were just really like, they were in it. We had a couple meetings with some filmmakers afterward to kind of get, you know, feedback. I will say the night of, you know, after everything was done, we were breaking down, we were cleaning up, you know, we were on cleanup crew. We had to take down the step and repeat, which took like a grip of time. And yeah, it was like, you felt good, like, Dad, we accomplished something. We accomplished something that people respected. It was a standard of quality that we presented that was really, it was really, really necessary for our community, especially for people of color, just to say that we produce quality events.
So it was definitely this wonderful feeling. Folks coming, the panel discussion, everybody was engaged. I mean, my man Kevin Parkinson had like a lot to say. William Trigg, she definitely had a lot to say. Everybody pretty much came away with something. I believe this is an event which sparked for a lot of things we see in the future in Arizona. And my hope is to make Arizona definitely a black film scene that's recognized and respected, just like LA, Atlanta, Chicago, New York. Why not Arizona?
So from that, yeah, I was tired, I was done. I wouldn't talk to nobody for like 2-3 days afterward, just because, you know, sometimes you gotta debrief and Wasu or whatever you need to do after putting a lot of effort and energy into something you put together over, a 6 to 8 week period that really needed like 6 to 8 months. The post, we have had, opportunities. People want to work with us. And after that, we did a music showcase, concert series with Tidra Moses. And that was phenomenal. We set the stamp on, our music, the quality of music concert series that we put together are just as well produced and well curated. And so that's the brand, that's the theme, that's the aura that we want to bring out here in the Valley is, Soul West Fest, Soul West Film Fest. We bring quality live entertainment. Our upcoming events, the sky's the limit. People have given us our venue, and I don't want to be an elitist. Shout out to Donald Trump. But I will say, if you want nice things, you have to put in the effort to make sure that they're nice. You don't half-step stuff. And it costs. It costs to be the boss. It costs to put on something very quality.